Welcome to the lesson on pricing. It's a mandatory, right? You have to be able to price your courses in Thinkific. You have to be able to assign prices to your different courses in the system. I have to use a different example here in this video. So if you're looking at this going, wait, this looks a little different than what you were showing us before, it's a different course. The reason for that is you have to have your payment integrations set up in your site in order to set pricing. And well, that dummy account I've been using to demonstrate in previous videos does not actually have any financial systems connected to it. So I'm loading a course from my Marino training site here for you. You can see that there's a curriculum outline. This is a new course that I'm building, so it's a good example here. And I would go straight over from curriculum to right past bulk importer settings and drip and go right to pricing. Click on pricing. So what are we doing here? We have to set prices for our courses. Now, the initial course setting is defaulted to free. Anytime I create a new course, this is one of the very first things I change. So if you're looking for an essentials lesson here in pricing, it's going to be that on day one, when you establish your course and you go in and do the general settings, come in here and change this from free. You never know when you're going to be motivated to do a pre-sale or to experiment with things on the landing page by having your course published. Even if it's just for a brief moment, an hour or two while you're playing around in the system, what you don't want to happen is during that time period, people see a course on your site and they see it's free and they enroll. You're like, oh no, they enrolled in a course while I was in the system working. Because Thinkific defaults to free, you would want to come in here and change this. So I always tell people, why don't you just come in here and set this at a one-time purchase, right? A one-time payment. And what does that mean for us? What does a one-time payment look like? So if I came in here and I clicked on one-time payment, it would charge my student once to access the content. And you're going to honor that commitment to that student. Okay, this is what they don't say in the course, or the Thinkific explanation here, is that you're going to provide them with this content. This is kind of like your mutual agreement that you're going to exchange the course for a certain amount of money. Now here I've got a one-time payment. It's defaulted to $250, which means I probably had that set in here at some point. You can change this price just by updating this block. So let's say, let's go big, right? Let's go to 2,500. And let's say once they exchange that money, it's going to provide them enrollment for a certain number of days. Now, if you leave this blank, it's going to be unlimited, right? Lifetime access, much like I've provided here in the Learn Thinkific course, right? So I leave this blank. My default sales approach and course curriculum delivery approach in my business is to not limit enrollment periods for students, but that does not work in every situation, nor does it work for every business. So feel free to limit the number of days you would provide people with access if that's what you need to do. So I've got this set up now to charge people $2,500 on purchase and provide them enrollment for 90 days. At the completion of that 90 days, they will be disenrolled or unenrolled, whichever one of those is the correct word. Their access will be removed. Yes, I'm a writer. Yeah, can't you tell? That would be it, right? So they exchange that money for access for this number of days. Okay. So what if we didn't want to do a one-time payment? What if we wanted to do a subscription? And what is the difference between a subscription and a monthly payment? So let's look at subscription for a moment. So subscription is a monthly recurring fee, right? Or we can change that to charges for every set number of days, weeks, months, or years. So even though their description here says charge students recurring monthly fees, you can actually change that to days, weeks, or years. It could be an annual subscription, right? So let's just go back to months. And we're going to say we're going to charge them $500 a month, right? That's all. That's a big fee here. We got a killer program, right? We're looking at like $6,000 a year in value. So this is a big boy. Now, we can choose to provide them with a free trial, right? Let's just say we give them the first month free. Congratulations. So they'll enroll, it'll offer them the first month free. And then once that month is passed, they'll be provided with a subscription fee. Now, let's say we just want to give them a few days of trial. We're going to say you're going to get a 7-day trial, and then your fees will kick in. So now I can do that model. I can just change this to days, set the days, give them 7 days in the group, the course, the whatever, coaching program, whatever it is that we're selling them. And then after that 7-day period, they'll start being, we'll start charging them that $500 every month, starting after that 7-day period is expired. Now, if we want, we can even charge them a custom first payment. Instead of giving them the free trial, we can charge them a lower amount of money. So let's say the custom first payment here is going to be, instead of charging them $500 a month, we're going to charge them $250 for the first month. So we don't give you a free trial, but we do give you a discounted first payment period. That means you're going to give them $250 for the first month. This payment period they're talking about is whatever you've set up here. So if it's a 1-month period, you get charged every month. The first month will be $250. Every month after that will be $500. So you can provide free trial periods, or you can provide them with custom first payments. Now, that's going in the I'm charging you cheaper the first month category. But in some cases, we can charge more for the first month. So let's say traditionally we charge $500 a month, but this very first month, we provide them tons of access to information. We don't want them coming in and running right out the door with all that stuff. So we're going to charge them 2 months up front, right? You pay $1,000 to get in the door. That's your first month's payment. And then after that, every month, we're going to charge you $500, right? These are obviously wash numbers, but you get the point. I can charge more upfront in the first month rather than less if I want to provide them with immediate access to content that either meets or exceeds that $1,000 value. They have to have that value on day one. Just remember that if you're going to charge them more than the monthly amount, make sure that you provide them with that much value in that first exposure to the course. Okay, so that's how we'd set up a subscription. And remember, subscriptions don't have expirations. They just keep going until that person unsubscribes or you terminate the course or program. So these just carry on. If we want to do a set amount of money over a set number of months and then have it stop, then we can use a monthly payment plan. So think about this as breaking up the one-time payment, right? So you had one-time payment. Let's say we were going to charge that $500. Now let's come down here and say, well, maybe we want to be nice, right? The price per payment, we're going to spread this out. Instead of charging them the full $500 up front, I'm going to charge them, let's say we're going to do, it's a year program, or let's go a year, right? So let's say we want to charge them enough to make this worth our while to collect a monthly payment. You've got two options here. You can either say, well, what's $500 divided by 12, right? I'm just going to charge you that much a month. That comes out to $41.66, which you could do, right? And you could say, oh, I'm going to charge you that for 12 months. And in the end of that 12 months, you'll have paid me for all the monies that you were going to originally pay me if you were paid the one-time fee. But that's nice and everything, but isn't that kind of inconveniencing you that you didn't get paid your full amount up front? You also may want to incentivize these people to pay the full amount up front. So if you think about those two factors here with monthly payment plans, you may be enticed, as I often am, to shift this model. Okay, come away from this, add a little bit more per month to make them want to pay you on the one-time payment, or to reimburse you for the trouble of waiting for your money So instead of $41.66, let's just see what $50 a month does, right? So if we go 12 times 50, oh, that's going to change things, isn't it? So we go 12 times 50. Now we're collecting $600. So you can pay one time for $500, or you can pay me over a year and I'll charge you the $600 to have the convenience of a monthly payment plan. Okay, so let's make sure that we don't do a 90-day enrollment duration for a 1-year program. So let's go 365 days or so, right? At least. Let's just say that this is an evergreen course. We're not going to have a limit. Now that 90 days, that came down, right? So if let's say we're going to charge this $500 one-time payment, but I still want the option to use that monthly payment. Man, do I have to choose one or the other? No, you do not, right? We can do both. We can offer both. So let's say we offer the 500 one-time payment, $500, and we want to set an additional price. I want a second option here. So let's go down here and let's change this, right? So let's change this second option we've got set up. This little guy here, we're going to set that up to be that $50 a month, right? And we're going to say, oops, sorry, I changed the wrong thing. Let's go ahead and eliminate that. Yes, delete that. Okay, so I want to come down here and set additional price. I want to add a price, and I want it to be the monthly payment plan. So you can sign up for the monthly payment plan. Now this monthly payment plan, right, splits the full course over several monthly payments. And we have the ability to convey this to them. So when they see the button or they see the price label, it'll say monthly payment option, price per payment 50, 12 months. I'm going to go ahead and collect $50 a month from you for 12 months. You'll have indefinite enrollment. And you can see here that this is what the buy button will say. Now, if I don't want, this is in a course purchase page, right? So if they go to the purchase now or enroll now, and they click on that button, it's going to take them to your purchase page. And so when they do that, it's going to show this text here by default, 12 times 50. You can change that. You can have it say something else, right? Like 12 monthly payments of $50, which is saying the same exact thing, but you have the freedom to change what it says. I'm just trying to demonstrate that for you. So I usually leave mine to default, the 12 by $50, and then I would hit save. So what do we have here? We have two options. We have a one-time payment fee of $500 with indefinite enrollment, and we have a 12-month payment of $50 option. So if a student goes to purchase the course and they're brought to our checkout page, they're going to see two options. They're going to see a one-time payment, or they're going to see a 12-month payment option at $50. So yes, that's pretty cool. Now, let's say you want to set another option. You can set more than one option payment. Let's also say, well, we're down for the subscription model as well. I would love a subscription. Let's say you can just charge $50 a month for a subscription. All right. This is going to change things for us, though. Subscription option. And I'm going to say I want $50 a month. Well, that's the same amount of money, and I'm not going to give them any custom first payments or free trials. I'm just going to do $50 a month. Now you're thinking to yourself, well, hold on a second. Why would you do that? If it's an indefinite enrollment, that doesn't make any sense. Why would I just keep paying you $50, right? And your brain would be telling you the right thing. The only time I would do all three of these options, the one-time payment, a subscription fee, or a monthly payment option, the only time I would do that is if the course was time capped. So let's say it was indeed a 1-year program. We did provide access for 365 days. They could have that access on a single purchase. They can have that access on a 12-month purchase, right? That'll provide them 365 days, or they can subscribe at $50 a month forever and retain access to the course indefinitely. Wow, okay. That's pretty cool. That'll carry me beyond the 365 days. I'm down with that. The only risk here to a subscription option in a plan like this, or in a course like this that really jumps off the table, is that your students will pay you $50 and have immediate access to all that information. So they may not make it the full year. They could stop their subscription at any time. And it's really easy to stop a subscription. A 12-month payment plan is automated in the system. They basically have to contact you or file a fraud charge or some type of stop payment with their credit card company to stop a monthly payment, which is automated, right? Your subscriptions are automated too, but they can unsubscribe. You can't just unmonthly payment. There's difference. They can unsubscribe from a course very easily within the system though. So just be aware that if you do a subscription model and you do it on something that you also charge a whole year's worth of access, there are people out there that would gladly pay you for 1 to 2 to 3 months and then just stop subscribing. They've digested all your information and they've walked on to something else. They never paid you the full price. So my word of advice for people on subscription programs is to make sure that the subscription program provides both you and the client with fair value on a monthly basis. There have been times where I've stood up 2 different identical programs in the system, and I've charged the one set or one-time payment and 12-month payment option on one course and offered a subscription course separately with a lot of the same material, but then I create a drip schedule on the subscription, which drips only a certain amount of content to them per month. This way they can't come in, subscribe, consume the whole thing, and then just cancel their subscription and only pay $50 for the same thing that you're asking other people to pay $500 to $600 for. It's not fair to the people that pay full price. So yes, there are some things to consider with your pricing that goes far beyond the numbers, goes far beyond just using Thinkific. And there's your big lesson on how I approach pricing in courses and in Thinkific. So if you have any questions about pricing, go ahead and drop them in the discussion board, and I'd be happy to hash them out with you, because this is one of the things that gets a little contentious. You'll note that I avoided completely talking about how to choose a price for your course. That is a conversation for a whole nother day. It actually has nothing to do with learning Thinkific. So I'm going to avoid that for now. And if you're interested in that type of thing, you can check out some of my other courses where I do talk about pricing strategies. Yeah, that would be a good place to learn that stuff. But for the sake of moving forward with learning Thinkific, I thank you for attending this lesson, and I'll see you in the next video.